Alright, guys, so the month is coming to an end, and I want you guys to get a scoop of the stats of the data. Still 2 minutes average. There's nothing I can do about it. Flat line of subscribers. But we were able to breach 45 hours watched. And the question is, who helped us get there? And can we, repeat the pattern in order to, satisfy the audience? So, we barely breached it, alright? I was expecting way more from YouTube Rewind. But you know what the funny thing is about it? It's right here. I changed the thumbnail. What went wrong? Hit the Poop gets at least 1,000 views. And we can't even hit 100. We hit 60 views. And technically out of those 60 views, barely 2 people watched it. The whole thing. Barely. Alright? Or collectively 2 people watched it. So, this is half an hour. It's like 35 minutes. Alright? It's not even full 20 minutes each. Would make 40 minutes. So, I'm still waiting for the second person to finish watching this video. I can't wait, guys. It's very exciting. But my YouTube Explained videos actually got more watch time. Not that much more watch time, but more. What I am happy about is that 6th place goes to Taylor taking over YouTube Rewind 2012. It has little to do with, my rewind and stuff, but it does show the ability to actually, change history in a way. Technically, there were plenty of signs that Taylor Swift had to appear in YouTube Rewind, and she didn't for some reason, and she didn't ever appear in YouTube Rewind. Maybe got, hinted at with the graveyard scene or something, which is kind of annoying that was, that was it. And we still don't know if that was, an actual feature. Like, these artists are pretty big on YouTube, and they get completely ignored, technically. It's kind of weird. Selena definitely did not get even close to getting featured. But Ariana and Jewel made it. And probably maybe for, like, obvious reasons. Like, actually obvious. Oh well. Now they're here in my rewind, and I'll make sure to keep growing. But yeah, it's quite a disappointment. You put in extra work, and it flops. I don't know why, to be honest. Everyone else succeeded with their YouTube rewinds, even though it looks like YouTube poop. But yeah, I don't get it, man. Is YouTube being overrun by children now? And goldfishes? With weird standards for videos? You can imagine, because, my content is definitely completely different, completely out of the ordinary. You would think, like, oh, I'm a commentary person. Even that is a stretch to try to describe my content. Like, I'm on a completely different space and time, dude. Like, I don't know if you can handle my shit. And most people clicked away already, so don't worry, dude. We'll survive somehow without them. I probably need captions, I'm thinking about adding captions on the screen. It's gonna be really annoying though. I hope there is space for that. So that's nice. Taylor made it. The highest out of, the entirety of YouTube Rewind related content. This is the rock bottom, by the way. Who watched half an hour of footage of this random video? I did. I watched my own video, and it registers just fine. All right, fantastic. The percentages are kind of annoying. I would like to know how many times my video got watched. That would be a very interesting statistic. If I can find that, that would be nice. But average percentage viewed. That's kind of interesting, I guess. Unfortunately, can I move this somehow? I don't think I can move this properly. And now it's just getting in the way. So I'll just hide it. I have to hide this thing. Anyways, there is one pattern, but we'll get to that. So going from rock bottom, again, we got actually another bullshit video. There's only 2 that got picked up. So obviously the Rainbow Nazi video that everyone's gonna get offended about, I'm sure. But some people, explored it. There's plenty of arguments to consume about this stuff, and it's kind of life-changing, I would imagine. It's kind of similar to Taylor's because it concerns Jewel herself, because she's the only person basically on my leaderboard that I consider, gay person, but I don't consider her gay, because you have to have a relationship, you have to have proof, man, that you fully explored it and fully developed your sexuality, which technically is impossible in current day and age, so I just call it bullshit for what it is, man. There's... oh, I definitely know my sexuality. Yeah, dude. Now you start talking to virgins, because there's plenty of those too. Explore their sexuality. Or help them explore their sexuality, I'm sure you care, because you're part of this community, that cares, apparently. And is not just inclusive and tries to grow as fast as possible, and confuse people and create an army. It's annoying, guys. So, YouTube Rewind content over here, above, rock bottom, barely. It's still very annoying that, I put effort, but technically, because I extended the effort that I explained my YouTube Rewind, technically, I collected quite a bit of, clout. Let's put it that way. So, I'm glad. This is a random video from my class, and because it's above rock bottom, I'll actually give class another click. I have this priority thing going on, where I can set up hearts, basically. And then I see them on this list. Priority. Right now, Ludwig needs his overtime episode, but it's gonna be next year, unfortunately. Here you go, guys. It's really cool to have the system. Right now, the requirement is around 6 hearts to get a video out of me. However, I wouldn't know what to do with my class right now. I could just feature, guys, just the feelings that I collected over time about. But I already did this, so how can I improve that, right? It's not that easy. It's not that easy to improve. I have to be honest. But I don't think my class is gonna be able to actually reach a higher level than 4 hearts. So they're just kind of stuck there. It's kind of cool. Anyways, Opera GX, quite a big change in my life, and I found a dislike, but I take whatever is under the Christmas tree, dude. There's plenty of those to go around. I only look at watch time. How long have people been entertained? That's all I care about. So, Elder Scrolls Legends isn't on the top. Not this time. Maybe because I didn't specifically said Elder Scrolls Legends, but you know. Now it's kind of appropriate. And I'm not going to change the title anymore. This is an actually old video on Elder Scrolls Legends. I don't think I clicked on Elder Scrolls. Did I? I didn't. Okay. Because it doesn't matter. I will keep making videos whenever I feel like it. It's one of those special priorities. So don't have to prioritize specifically. Unless it blows up, you know. But then I just immediately do video. Thanking, you know. So, that's that. We have, my class potentially watching a little bit further into, my 10 years of life video, stuff like that. It has to be my class, because, like, no one really knows about this. No one really would find it, in YouTube anywhere. So, fascinating. Still only one view, technically. Only one full view. But, you know, collectively, you know, they're doing the best job. Getting into top 5. Still quite, you know, an achievement. So I'm still attached to my school, even after 10 years. Alright? It is still a thing. Technically 9 years, but, 9.5. Then we have Shu. Now, it's kind of a similar to the No Lock Skin Stop You video, where I'm showing an example of like, okay, she's single, now I can start shadow marketing her, and start dating her and interacting with her content. So I did that. For some reason, this has been the most liked video. It collected 3 likes, which is kind of mind-blowing. I still don't know what's going on. I've been asked, am I for or against you? And because, you know, I'm always negative, so it can be a little bit weird, but it's like, everyone cares about their well-being and their benefit. So, if I get it, then I'm for you. If I don't get benefits, then I'm against you. If I get benefits for being against you, that's what I will take. I'm easy to be manipulated, guys. You think I'm spending hours and hours manipulating other people based on my preferences? Same goes to me, you know. The amount of damage I can deal, the amount of damage people can deal to me. And you can see, I care about like very tiny amount of statistics. One person can just spike me out of control. But it did not happen, unfortunately. It did not happen. So, Tavern Brawl video. The pattern is, the top 4 pattern is the niche works, all right? If people don't post often enough and you feature those kind of people, your video will be found somehow, somewhere, and people try and consume it, they will force themselves because they really care about that person, and he's kind of missing in their lives. So they have to, replace it with a pillow. If you're selling a pillow, that's cool, right? I'm not really selling a pillow, I'm selling a bunch of nails. And people buy those too. So, that's quite fascinating to me. Obviously, I got a lot of backlash for the top place, but we're gonna get to that. So yeah, I found that Town Brawl is pretty cool. However, there's a problem with it. It has a very long waiting time just to queue in to try and play the game. You have to wait around a minute, which is unheard of in Hearthstone standards, but Town Brawl is different. I really enjoy Town Brawl. I evaluate it quite highly compared to Hearthstone, but I don't think it's worth playing. I don't think Hearthstone is worth playing anymore. But I will keep on checking on Tavern Brawls, and whenever I get to shit on Hearthstone, it will get points for that, but, I will take my advantages, Once I fully grasp the expansion, I will release the worst cards video. My favorite. Probably not something people want to see, but definitely something I want to make. In Final 2, I got my 6th ban. I actually got banned 7 times. Alright. If I just banned, I think either banned or... So ban. YouTubers Unite was the 7th ban, and I believe final. It has to be final. I'm not sure what kind of Discords to invade next, so you can give me guys suggestions. And I'm not really invading a Discord, it just feels like I'm a big person when I start talking. People phase out and, they try to run away and cope with it, and they realize that their demons are coming back to them. I can live with them demons no problem, guys. I can deal with them easily. But other people, not so much. But the way you deal with demons is not by destroying my life, unfortunately. You have to, try and get up to my level first. You can try then take me down from that level, but you have to get up to that level, unfortunately. And anything else, I consider just pathetic attempt into stopping me, basically. And this is one of those things, alright? And I understand if I talk to Nerdcity, he would be a respectful, cool person. It's just his community is full of crap, just like every community is, because what else are you going to make it out of when the entirety of YouTube is full of crap? Nerdcity himself, is a damaged person, I would imagine. It's just not how I would run a YouTube channel. The next video he's about to make is about crypto. I can't wait for that. Fantastic. He's definitely gonna sell his NFTs. His entire Discord is about privilege in NFTs of like, oh, if you buy certain NFTs, you're gonna be able to get access to a special chat. And a lot of people did bought it. Except his community still sucks really bad. So I don't know what is the privilege here, to be in a community that sucks ass. Well, people love that these days, unfortunately. And Mark Passio is not your typical YouTuber. But he is kind of like myself, except the worst version of me, technically. Probably we share personalities too, because, he's constantly angry and he's attacking his audience constantly. It's sending bad vibes. He's kind of like a bad dad at this point. Angry bad dad that you don't want to have in your life anymore. You want to move on. And technically, he's playing his role very well in that sense, if that's what he's doing, if it's intentional. I don't think it's intentional. I think he's getting out of control a little bit. And he's showing an example of, parents are terrible people sometimes. Parents, because they're dying, because they're about to die soon, they just go unhinged and they do whatever the hell they want, especially with the amount of experience they have, of the things they can in fact do to people and get away with. This guy has 100,000 subscribers, and he hates every single one, no exceptions, man. This is unbelievable to me. He disabled his comments, and kept it that way for a long time. He still has Discord, does not promote his Discord, however, and wants everyone to have real names in his Discord, as if he's some kind of Facebook mastermind, reinventing Facebook. This guy is just mind-blowingly annoying, but I would love to appreciate this guy. I would love to, especially when people care about him this much. No, it's not about people caring. It's, again, a niche thing that happened. Mark Passio is missing, so people have to watch something else, and they definitely will click and try and defend him when someone says, it's the worst YouTuber. Alright, it's quite a declaration. I can't just throw these anytime I want once I declare that this guy's the worst. It either has to change into something different, or, technically he's not the worst, right? But it's very difficult to actually say what the worst is. My idea of what is the worst YouTuber is something that is ridiculously offensive to the core, does something very well, but the other side of him just taken over, basically. The evil side has taken over. So if you're doing something very well, it's very attractive, but when the evil takes over, you just attract people to tear them apart. You don't really care about them anymore. You're not presenting information, you're just straight up attacking, and it's a wonderful example of that. Alright? It's a very similar deal that happened to Hearthstone. Hearthstone was pretty exciting, pretty simple, and now it's turning into just absolute nonsense. It's incomparable to what it used to be. Alright, Hearthstone used to make sense. Cards used to have a very strict power level, but right now anything goes, man. Literally anything goes. Cards do not have a power level anymore. Especially, they grow in power level really fast over time. And I'm gonna, attack Hearthstone many times. But here you go, guys. My top performing videos above half an hour watch time. Alright? Above rock bottom. I've explained everything. But the video is not over. Alright? You might be wondering, well, what else are you going to talk about? Well, I'm going to talk about my stuff. Alright? Because your stuff sucks. Alright? Your engagement sucks. Alright? Just a reminder, likes, dislikes, none of that shit matters. It's the feedback that matters. Alright? I'm a very confused human being, and so should you be. And please consider expressing that to me. It would be a very cool investment from your part. And it's free investment. However, not as free as you think, because, people would pay money to just not watch my videos. I bet you guys. I bet people would pay money to not see me, basically, on YouTube or something like that. And I'll take that money very, very much. Thank you, guys. If there's a bounty on my head, eventually, I'll take the money and leave. No problem, guys. You deal with your problems alone. Eventually, people will start realizing that they need me, and that would suck. So we're gonna review November's candy, alright, in the same video. Right now, I don't actually even need to appreciate the people who made it to the top, because the only thing I had to do is give Max his 5 hearts. 1 heart for each 2 hours that his fans spend watching my videos. I'll spend 1 hour back. Alright, I think that's pretty fair, because, you know, it would be nice to spend the entirety 10 hours and whatnot, but I just cut it in half, because let's say that half of them are haters and half of them are losers, but, no, I don't know. I just cut it in half because I felt like it, okay? There are no rules, there's no limitations, but I don't feel like making a video about Mark Passio, so this is the way I'm gonna be handling. Receiving a subscriber, however, that is also kind of an important metric, I would say. So, if we click, you're gonna recognize 3 subscribers, right? From Mark Passio, from Shu, and YouTube Rewind is tomorrow. Here's the thumbnail. So, someone liked YouTube Rewind. I guess I'm gonna give for every subscriber another heart. Alright, because that shit is pretty important. But, it could also harm my channel if the subscriber is inactive, unfortunately. I don't think it would harm me that much, because it just gives 1 impression. Maybe a couple of impressions, because every time like they click on subscription box and explore subscription content, maybe it constantly adds an impression. I'm not sure exactly how it's calculated, but it is what it is. Very nice. I thought there would be more subscribers that I received recently. I'm a little bit confused, but it is what it is. We can just move on and talk about candy now. The data is over. I clicked on myself. I gave myself points. I should have given data points, but suck it, data. You're gonna get a heart. Deal with it. I love my system. My system is so fucking cool, man. I'm just like, wow. I can't wait for, like, people who are excited about games to discover my stuff. Because, this is, like, gamifying YouTube experience. And, I don't... like, I've tried to gamify Minecraft. But Minecraft was already a game, so it was a little bit confusing what I was doing, right? But when I'm gamifying, you know, YouTube, that shit's not confusing whatsoever. That shit's ridiculously exciting. I just don't know why people are sleeping on this stuff. I'm a little bit offended. But, we'll see what happens in the future, you know. I have my eyes peeled. Right now, people just very ignorant in general. But, I appreciate everything I get, and I'll continue my work. Alright, trying and improve without improving anything. You know, it's a very confusing type of deal, I would say. Improving yourself is a very tough process, man. Technically, there's plenty of things to try for me, but I also have to remain lazy and recognize that my time is ridiculously valuable, and effort apparently doesn't really sell well enough unless you create pure candy, and that still doesn't sell. So I'm not sure what to do in this case. You know, I created a separate channel, and it doesn't get views. Unless it blew up somehow recently, which it didn't, and nobody cares. Alright, and these are just 2-minute snacks, and I can't really post any longer videos than that, because you see my average watch time is 2 minutes. So when I present a 2 minute content, I think people can commit fully, and I don't have to worry about it. Worry about them being like left out of place and unable to comment, all that stuff. So 2 minutes is a sweet spot. Anyways, now we can get to the juice. All right. If I can't promote my Discord, now, are we just gonna react to it? I'm not exactly sure. I did this before. There might actually be quite a lot of this stuff. Every time I react to it. Also, we start from here. Technically from October 1st, but I revived this at November 3rd. I was just like kind of trying it out at first, and it apparently took me a month to actually get used to it. So, it's quite a fascinating thing, because if it takes me a month to get used to something, me existing on YouTube requires a lot of getting used to. But if I don't get subscribers, then it's kind of pointless. It's kind of, starting from scratch every single time. Just a reminder of what this is. This is, I technically call this like miniature Twitter inside my Discord. You can post this, your thoughts every single hour. I probably will make it every single day, almost, if that's even possible. Super slow mode. But an hour seems fine. It shouldn't get flooded. Yes, you can post a ridiculously long comment, but, I will definitely delete a lot of crap that people would try. And doing so, will corrupt your reputation. So you will not be able to do most of the things when being corrupted and questioned for, sanity. But that's just, fair warning, you can still post whatever you want, and probably it's going to turn into its own candy. I would have to buy it from you, basically, because I wouldn't be able to kind of understand it properly. But if it works, if you're actually successful in submitting your own candy, that's pretty mind-blowing, okay? That's probably a very rare occurrence, because not a lot of people can actually make candy. Alright, so here's the more rules. Most candy has a certain flavor. I use 4 elements. And some candies are ridiculously powerful, so it has a good flavor, which I will not tell you about. You have to taste it for yourself. But some candies are just color-coded, but they're just kind of bland. So let's see if we can find like really good ones that I want to actually talk about from last month. There's nothing to compare it to, unfortunately. The previous candy are ridiculously old, but I revived the sweet spot, and I use it, well, often enough. There's, ideas that I have to note down somewhere, and it happens to be exact format for this place. So the way I tell the flavor is by looking at this thing. I can feel nothing, so there's no real flavor. It's probably kind of unsuccessful candy, but if I don't get it completely, that sucks real bad. These are kind of just ideas of how to taste it. Alright, funny, I wanted, smart, okay, interesting. I need to remember that. I could look up to different candy up here and see if I taste the same thing. It's pretty cool. I think I can handle it though. Honestly, I like the question because it's quite kind of annoying. The moment people blow up, it outshadows the competition immediately. And people do not actually allow competition, despite what you would think. You know, you can play your little games, do your thing, but people will not care about you most of the time. And technically it's like, oh, it's a competition. You can blow up anytime as well if you do the right thing, and if society likes you and all that stuff. And that is not a very healthy way to look at things, but I guess, like, people are very ignorant, very restrictive. It's just unbelievably impossible. Again, if YouTubers Unite has banned me, one of the most offensive things that could possibly happen, because I'm a YouTuber, I'm trying really hard, I'm working full time. I got banned from YouTubers Unite community. That's just mind-blowingly impossible, dude. There's nothing. I have to murder a person, dude. I have to literally murder a person. And, yes, but then I would, serve a jail time. So something equivalent to that in social terms, like. But technically, the other thing I have to do is leave a bitter taste in someone's mouth. Whoever has the button with ban written on it, and they just press it. It's like, oh, I got rid of a problem. I solved a problem, guys. I think you cheated on your test, my friend. You get an F. A solid F. So I'm trying to break down that idea. Competition is not a thing, guys. You can live in your little box and do your little thing and hope that you're going to be successful. But unfortunately, effort doesn't matter that much as you think. Yes, you might be able to reach more people, but the moment you lower your quality and you try to, introduce yourself, reveal your face, the script gets flipped. You will feel uncomfortable of posting more videos, or lowering your quality to begin with. Like, this stuff is vicious, man. Really disgusting. Technically, if I would just suck it up and I would just try to climb and get maximum subscribers, it's a possibility. I can do that. Or I could just invade people's Discords and get it that way. I mean, I successfully invaded Onision's Discord. I had to be nice to Onision, and that's, an unusual thing, which is potentially why I became successful there. But it also requires other people to be respectful too. A lot of things probably went right in that sense, and I got something out of it. There's a lot of unique experiences that really don't make sense at the moment, really cannot be replicated. Everything just feels kind of random. And this also happened a long time ago, so recently I couldn't really get much whatsoever. I did got 2 more people join my Discord, and they seemed to be like real people with real ideas. But they tip their toes to explain who they are to some extent, and didn't do much else. Technically, I'm okay with that. I understand you can be dormant. You might not want to use Discord. It takes time to get used to things. Going back to the question, it's very fascinating that people idolize celebrities or whatever pops out. They idolize, they attach to people. But right now, with the age of TikTok, this thing is changing a little bit. You know, the way the competition works, and I'm not sure if the competition is gonna be the new keyword, but it's just a very interesting question. That's all I can say. I can't go deep, you know. I have a limited amount of time. Let's keep going. Technically, there is one more thing, right? So, gaining subscribers is like that golden number that YouTube gives you, but it's actually not as valuable as you think. Like, engaging with your fans, building infrastructure like Discord, and learning how to use it, equipping a lot of tools, and connecting with people, exploring YouTube in general, and watching a lot of videos. This is the golden number. Getting subscribers is maybe the fifth thing that kind of makes sense, but people are unstable creatures, alright? Just because they stick around, but they become dormant, you know, and do not interact with your content anymore, you don't actually see the amount of subscribers that are actually active and want to help you out, who are actually like are positively and actively encouraging you to make more content. We don't know that number, and we kind of need to know that number. So you should be able to boost that number by watching videos. But there's a special thing, right? So I have to actually expand a little bit. Or the way I expand is, you know, I make more candy. So YouTube Core. Subscriber count doesn't matter that much. It's about how many people are engaging with your content and how much you engage back. You know, because interactions definitely matter. All right, it's looking into your comments every now and then and replying to them. It's a big difference between a person who's running a YouTube channel and just ignores all the comments. Yes, it could be scary, but people are trying to be nice. So I've never really found negative comments, but people are trying so hard despite being ignored. And to me, that is mind-blowingly insane. That is just insane, dude. Just talk to each other, dude. Stop looking at a fucking blank wall and pretending that it's like, wow, it's art. It's interactive. You know? Well, everyone's just looking at a blank wall, but they're not looking at each other and interacting with each other, even though that would probably be 10 times more interesting, if not more, and like 10 times more useful, because it's unbelievable benefits, and everyone is just, ignoring it. Technically, I can give people the benefit of like, oh, people don't interact because they're scared of each other, and it makes sense to be scared. It makes sense, guys. But all you have to do is just like bump into each other, bounce back eventually. Alright? Don't go too deep. Don't just immediately have sex or something. just because you feel like it. No, just bounce back. It's all about learning things, not really. Because once you learn, you will be more comfortable getting deeper with a person. And then you will actually crave depth, because a lot of people are just starting to pick up these human values and don't really know how to hold a conversation and not become dormant the next day, even if they do hold a conversation. This is definitely a very important message to people. You know, the world's population is gonna keep on growing, regardless of what the internet world decides to do about it. Alright? We're gonna keep having less and less sex, guys, unfortunately. And because of the digital age, and we're gonna get sucked into digital worlds even further, and we're gonna pretend that we want like ridiculous standards, but mostly because, again, everyone is getting outcompeted by celebrities. Everything in my world is just pure celebrity stuff. There's no real people in my life, alright? Real people don't exist. Alright, celebrities only. You're not invited if you're not trying to be a celebrity, unfortunately. You're not even close to existing in that sense. And it's just something you have to deal with at this point. I have no idea how to describe it for you. I collect data, guys. I'm not an idiot. Alright, I know what I'm talking about. Anyone can do it still, you know. If they can hold a conversation, they will become a celebrity in my world. It's not that difficult. But they choose not to. Anyways, soon enough, Indians will start repopulating the world. So, the idea is basically, again, we don't have to worry about making babies. What we have to worry about is goddamn Indians wanting to migrate once they get enough cash to do it. Because, you know, their economy is also, you know, fixing itself. They're becoming aware of how to, you know, live a proper life despite the ridiculous amount of people they have to live with. It's pretty mind-blowing. And it's definitely a culture shock for them to travel somewhere else. But we have to be mindful of this, because we don't care about making babies. We still have to care about people who do make babies in the end. Alright? Unless we literally don't give a fuck about our culture. And if we want to fight wars, that's the thing that we have to be mindful of. People who want to join our cultures and stuff like that. You know, if borders matter, if wars matter, this stuff also matters quite a lot. I still don't care much, you know, because I don't even know the concept of why people want to give birth to things. You know, just let's just die, guys. Humanity sucks anyways. Let's fucking die. You know, I'm very suicidal, apparently. But you can't stop me. I'm too smart for this shit. Alright? In fact, I kind of wanted to make, like, suicide as feeling suicidal as bullshit video. But I realized, you kind of just don't care. You just live your life until you die, and death could be around the corner anyways, because people don't care about each other anyways. So, it's a tough one, man. You can feel as suicidal as you want, honestly, and there's not much I can do to help. Because it's a honest feeling that some people should have in this day and age. It's almost impossible to survive without breaking your back, basically. I don't know, man. The requirement for what substitutes as a human being, I I can barely meet the standards, dude. People would see me, oh, dude, but what about this thing? Oh my god. The standards, guys. So, it's quite a deep topic. Again, it's just a candy. It's more like alarm clock right in there. So it's more of an alarm in general. I'm not sure why I put a baby chick. What is that all about? Mad comment. I guess I was angry when I did this one. I put a baby chick instead. I don't know, man. I question myself all the time. This stuff is awesome, dude. So, women are like trees with fruits. It's best to enjoy whatever you like instead of owning the entire tree because you can't eat all the fruit. It's a fascinating idea, right? Like, trying to own another person is quite impossible. People want to do their things, alright? They have their own journeys and priorities. You can't really own them. You can just pick up a few fruits, and there's plenty of fruits from different trees as well, so this is why marriage is quite a questionable concept in general. But technically in marriage, people are still free to do whatever they want. Some people need marriage, but right now it's very questionable. It's dropping in popularity, let's put it that way. So, especially when people exploring their sexualities, yeah. But, just trying to own one tree, it's cool if you can eat a lot of fruits and you know that you need a tree. That's very cool. Knowing where it is, hoping that it stays in the same place and keeps giving you fruits, definitely have to take care of that part. That's how to appreciate women. But collecting all the fruits and reselling them to other people, you can just point a finger where the tree is. That's also the way to appreciate. So treating a woman as a tree with fruits, man, that is a fantastic. Not a cookie, actually, it's a candy. A cookie would be a little bit bigger than this. Whew, I like it. Yeah, this is funny enough that it's actually sparkling, dude. Even though it has no real meaning, right? But you're flexing so hard, you just throwing your money away. It's like, look, I can do that. Ah! It hurts. It hurts. Flexing hurts, man. Now I have to pick it up from the floor so nobody can grab it. Oh, man. Here's addition to, competition, toxic competition. Usually, when you add a word stupid or toxic or bad, it undefines the word. Alright? A bad light bulb is the one that doesn't actually shine. So, it's undefined light bulb, for sure. So when you add a bad word, you just undefine the thing. So toxic competition is not competition. Toxic competition is hoarding as much attention and fans and not caring about anything else, basically. Just, technically embracing the jungle mentality that, YouTube is a wild place, anything goes, no rules really apply as long as you don't offend YouTube authorities, the automated robot system, as long as you don't kick them in the butt. And the RoboCop just turns around and laser shots you as a warning shot, man. But I always say that, and I keep repeating that. I want to receive just as much effort as much as I put into YouTube. And if that doesn't happen, well, screw you guys. I'll become a destructive force whenever I'll, blow up. Because that shit's inevitable. I work full time. How can I fail that? At some point, it's probably possible for me to blow up and get, just enough subscribers to keep reiterating a few videos or something. I'm sure I'll find better and better strategies over time. The ones that fit me and my, skills that will potentially be also harmful because I do not tolerate toxic competition or other bad things on the platform. There's no reason to tolerate this shit. So when you're trying to be always nice, you're also feeding the beast, basically. You are the problem. Because you're not rational in any way. And there's no reason for me to actually support your narrative. Being nice is old school, guys. Not on this platform. Be nice somewhere else. This is a crazy one, dude. Garmin could potentially, flip the script and forget about the dumb TV media they have to take over social media. They could anytime snap and decide to do that. And it's quite easy. They create a lot of pressure for people to survive, as it is right now. And the next step is to just start funding secretly. And there's plenty of ways to do it. They just have to figure out secretly funding these influencers to make them pretend that everything is fine. But that can only happen when there's actually a threat, I believe. When people are starting to realize that we don't like influencers being always happy or stuff like that. I want more Guru next. If I blew up, then government would be insta-concerned. And that's why I don't want to blow up too much. I have to control my detonation of things. I don't want to end up in the ditch like Mr. Tate. What did the Tate say? Or actually, you can do whatever you want to the system. It's upside down now. Because of me. Yeah, Mr. Tate. See, the funny thing is, even I can be bought over. So I know what I'm talking about. They can just send me money and I would shut up for the most part. I still want to express myself, but I would shut up for the most part. I can be bought over. But because I don't feel secure in my life, I have to express my concerns, and I have to try and help other people. But once I have enough money, I will stop trying, because there's nobody I want to fucking try for. Nobody fucking exists in my life. Why should I care? It's very convincing to me. I get money and leave. Unless they jack up the prices tenfold and my money means nothing anymore. And then I have to come back and okay guys, it's time to spill the beans. And blah blah blah. If I can be manipulated, other people can be manipulated tenfold as well. So, be careful guys. Government can always snap and try this strategy out. And it's not as difficult as you think to paint your worldview in rosy glasses when everything is collapsing. Yeah, I don't like billionaires existing in general. I mean, just the fact alone that a person can accumulate so much power in general and not be threatened by competition. Tech, like it's so impossible, dude. How much value can a billionaire provide, dude? But they created infrastructure and platforms. No, they did not single-handedly did that, unfortunately. And the platforms have to be maintained, unfortunately. And fireproof from in all kinds of ways, dude. So, what are we talking about again? Oh, yes. How are billionaires existing when they have to run their companies and reward people for, well, there's not enough competition, you know. They just rob the bank and they're running. They're running real far. And the real question is like, okay, how are they not getting taxed then? Like, what is happening, dude? So, I lose my sanity when I think about this stuff. Because, the most important part, obviously, is, yeah, maybe there's also a money glitch happening when we took off the gold standard. Something really switched. I got that idea from TikTok. And, I kind of am curious. Because it could make things very unstable. And it could just disrupt the order of society. Just like that. Like, money is a very sensitive thing. If you change the way money works, things can go horribly wrong. Right now we're surviving still, and no one seems to panic. People just murmur, you know. But I'm kind of concerned. When did billionaires started existing in the first place? Is the question. Does it make sense? There's plenty of data to actually look over and explore in this case. Obviously, tech giants rule the entire world. It's quite a big deal. But I also watch TikTok that like suggest that billionaires are not sane people, or at least millionaires are. So billionaires are potentially even worse. And again, no sane person would try to buy Twitter. You just build your own platform and pay money to use it. Pay people money to use your platform. It's the easiest way to attract people. But you still have to make a good platform, and it will take time. So taking over Twitter feels like skipping a lot of that progress, but also was ridiculously expensive and felt like a failed Elon Musk attempt to promise something and not deliver something, but he was forced to buy Twitter in the end. So it is fucking hilarious, dude. I want more billionaires get, uh, you know, uh, uh, destroyed like this, like financially destroyed. I don't know. I was looking for a funny way to say it, but it is fantastic. Alright. We need to learn their personalities and figure out what we can sell them that they want to buy. You know, maybe we can sell a metaverse to Mr. Zucker. I feel like Elon Musk like has this weird idea that he can fix things, you know. But Twitter was never meant to be fixed. There's no small types of ideas that would fix Twitter. Twitter's just some American poop container, basically, toilet, to flush down your thoughts in hopes that somebody will care. And if you are a celebrity, people will eat your poop. It's not that difficult to understand. You know, people will just gobble it up because they want to know more about you. They're running out of content, man. So, another shitty social media site blew up for some reason. Also, yeah, people want news and stuff, but they don't understand why they want news, to be honest. So there's also weird addictions come into play. Normally, something like Twitter wouldn't really exist. It's just some American thing. I'm sorry, guys. This is a painful one. Because I understand the rules of the debate a lot better than most other people. Again, I'm just in the wormhole of not being cared for, man. Fucking insane. But obviously, if you back away from debate, you lost it. Alright? If you cut off the conversation, I don't care what you have put in, everything just goes away, because my poker hand is bigger. I take everything. I own everything. I'm sorry, dude. Unless you make me feel embarrassed, but if I started first, if my comment is on the top, I have an ace card every time. I can just say, oh, I will delete everything, dude. And you will cry about it. Then he can try and scramble and save it and whatnot. It's a funny thing. He needs an ace card where he's like, oh, I actually have enough fans, or I make videos or something. I can save it properly and remember it. Or I know how to use Discord. Oh, wow, that's an ace card, guys. But that's an ace card you don't want to tell me, because me too, bro. Me too. So, most people just want to spit their opinion and keep it the way it is. If they don't show any flexibility and ability to respect, there is no debate. It's just like you with your opinion, and I am with an open mind, allowing you to share your opinion, and I'm a very good person for doing so, and you'll have to pay for it. You know, if I'm the good guy, and you're just a loser, you have to lose something, unfortunately. You know, you're not gonna get away for free. At least look embarrassed in the end, that would be nice. I can make content out of that. People have degenerate understanding that the longer they hold their opinions, the more true their opinions are. No, the more challenges you go through, the more opinions you listen to, and you still keep your opinion, that's when it becomes true. Alright? You have to interact with a lot of people, and it's not very easy to actually keep your opinion all the time. Alright? You do become a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. Saying certain words, or bringing up certain topics. Like, I didn't want it to bring up rainbow Nazis for a long time until I decided, wait, it's pretty easy to actually destroy their lives and their ideology, and I didn't invite them into top 100, so they literally don't exist in my worldview. So once I became confident enough, I can actually, express my opinion, because I kept it for a long time, and I've collected a lot of supporting arguments for it. So, this very cool. Cool candy, boys. This is also ridiculously interesting. I think it actually is in, like, his category, because it's too small, man. Like, it kind of aligns with this thing. There's a specific size, basically. I might even, like, copy and paste symbol count and see how much that is. But it's a little bit more than a half, right, of a full statement. Anyways, so, it's so important to let people make mistakes that if YouTubers feel a lot of pressure, they will hold on to a lot of resources that they have, a lot of insights of how they live their life. Like, a lot of things that they have is going to be hidden. Most importantly, like, how much money do they earn? That is a mistake that they will be withholding if they don't feel confident enough to share it. It's a mistake to share it because people will get upset and jealous and emotional about it. And, they will pretend that they own your money in some kind of way because they contributed. But, if we make YouTubers influencers feel uncomfortable, they will start hiding crucial information from us. And that shit's gonna damage society, guys. Alright? Because we won't be able to fight back against these people. Alright? I'm just as on the cool people side who don't actually exist as I am on the influencer side. I'm neither. I pretty much don't feel like I exist. I'm torn apart in many, many pieces right now. And until I blow up, I will not actually have an identity, which is totally fine. But, I'll keep working. Eventually, something will happen. Yeah, this is the difference between pros and noobs, man. I press invisible buttons, and I get some kind of effect anyways. I just pretend to press buttons, and people are scared shitless, man. While noobs are like, I need to reach for weapons of mass destruction before I die. Oh my god, dude. Bruh, chill. Bruh. What are you doing, bruh? The moment you reach out, the moment you're scared and you reach for a weapon. Ooh, bruh. Ooh. Immoral, my friends. Not society person anymore. We're gonna question a lot of things about you. Noob detector test, basically. Yeah, it's so awkward, man. Delete themselves because you can't. Block a greater influence. Just disrespect. That's a cool thing to say as well. You disrespect me, I leave, and try and win me over in the end, bruh. Good luck. Alright, so this cupcake is pretty cool. I still don't feel like uncanny behavior. Is it? Is it a good definition? Or is it a good phrase, rather? Because definition is here. Just the name. How does it feel like, right? The uncanny behavior, it's like you get close enough, but then you're actually doing a lot of negative damage by being too close, but not effective enough. You're participating, but you're not effective enough in doing so. So, most of the time, that's how communities operate. Unfortunately, they allow this uncanny behavior to flourish. And the idea is there's actually more problems in the internet age. We just don't see it. We don't talk about it. We don't have willingness to solve problems. We just engage again in this uncanny behavior, which makes us try to look nice, but we have very bad intentions, and we're just completely incapable of standing on our own and at least mimicking our idols a little bit to have a little bit of self-respect. You know, people are trying to get away with what they did and what others got away with, whatever. But yeah, it's all about not being willing to solve problems despite higher awareness. All right. Back in the day before the internet, we were like forced to solve problems and encouraged to do that. And we were touching grass every day, you know. But now we can't really do that anymore. And we have to understand how to solve this problem. And it is not a problem on its own. And you can't just ask people to touch grass. It's old school to do that. Just like it's old school to go to school, you just ask ChatGPT to solve all your problems, technically. But that means that the problems are completely different than they used to be. Alright? Normally, that's kind of how time works. The problems that we had in the past are solved, but the problems that we have right now have to be solved. Alright? Now they're the hot mess that we're in right now. And so the problems keep on rotating and keep on changing and refreshing themselves in a completely different format, basically. Alright, so we need to stop that and with the help of morality and principles, as we always do, and we have to very much question the memes. Alright, and make sure they're actually meaningful and not just like trendy poopy things that we throw at each other and pretend it's effective. You know, emotional damage. Nah, dudes. I'm a pro at emotional damage. Alright? But most people don't want to admit that because they got emotionally crippled so much that, you know, I don't know if they will recover and be able to say a single word. So, that's, I guess, the funny thing. I would like for them to express themselves and say how damaging it was to try and talk to me and interact with me, because I know it is. But if you don't express yourself, you're gonna lay there in the grave for a long time, paralyzed, pretend to be dead, and blah blah blah, all these things. Yeah, I'll take a piss on you every now and then. It's just, it's a very fun interaction. Alright? And I know, dude, I know it's damaging. I have damaged almost every single person I went through life with. Just almost every single one. I don't think they damaged me. Again, I'm pretty fearless. And that's another reason why. I just, you know, I'm definitely not gonna charge and attack people, but emotionally damage them? Easy game, dude. It's just people don't want to admit that. So I have to keep damaging them until they feel like there's no actual escape, but they still have to respect me at that point. And that shit is a very difficult combination to pull off, man. But the moment that happens, it's game over because you get slapped. Alright? No violence, a slap, a wake-up call, but it's the end game for you, man. Like, it's too late. I don't want to chase people and start slapping them, even though I have full power to do that right now. And they would lose. They would just lose. It's game over at that point. I want to make it as respectful as possible. You know, because I'm the inventor of the slap, technically. I looked at it, picked it up, and oh, it works, guys. Let's use it in our society. So, if someone engaging in uncanny behavior, if someone is stuck in a hole, slap time, boys. There's no escape. You just have to remove. You just have to fill in the hole. So you slap them. Get out of the hole, you fucking loser. We gotta fill it up, man. The funniest thing is now I'm thinking to myself, what if they buried someone in that Antarctica hole where Mr. Beast went? What if there was a person in there? You got slapped, bruh. You stayed in the hole for some reason. Is that why they tried to make a hole? Or is just uncanny behavior as well? Just to try and do something strange that people would remember. You know, it's kind of funny. Being nice, like actually nice, is not rewarding whatsoever. People are trying to be manipulative. You know, right now they don't know what they get in return. They just kind of feel good in return, feel powerful in return, but yeah, good luck with those tools, man. Good luck with those skills in the end. You know what you're doing, and you're gonna get caught eventually. But if you feel powerful, maybe you are, you know. Except I will pop you and get all the candy that you have stolen, and it's gonna be very easy for me. You do all the work for me. I just pop you like a balloon. It's not that difficult. Obviously, you might be a little bit too powerful. You might resist the pop. We'll see, guys. But I can't wait to slap a bunch of people. And I still haven't crafted what a digital slap would look like as well. So I can't wait to figure that one out. I kind of do feel like Techno deserves this research from me. A research of doom and gloom, man. Can I predict his death by looking at his videos? You know, predict that he has cancer or some bullshit like that. It's one of the most complicated tasks I could possibly ask myself to do. But, you know, it's coupled with this idea. Oh, you might be very good at something, and that can be taken away from you very easily. If you belong in one community, you put all the eggs in one basket, and then it just drives off, and it's a scam in the end. Because in the end, everything's a scam. Everyone, you know, packs their bags and leave, you know, and the community collapses. Nothing is permanent. Just like it came to existence, it will go away. Things, you know, linger and become dark and maybe even resurge like Minecraft did. But eventually, people pack their bags and leave somewhere else. You know, slowly and surely they will give you enough hints that that's happening. You just have to take a hint. You know, even if it's as dark as someone dying. I'm pretty sure Minecraft is very dead right now. And I want to look at it right now. Yeah, the peak was the start of the year. That was the peak, boys. This is probably Technoblade stuff. I would imagine. I don't remember when he passed. But it does feel like the middle of the year, you know? So, you know. Yeah, if people react to death in order to play Minecraft, that's a little bit weird. Right? But you can identify that as packing bags and leaving. And slowly Minecraft faded just like I expected it to. A little bit better than I expected, you know. But 40% drop in popularity since the start of the year. You should be concerned. We can look into 5 years. Now, this is the resurgence of Minecraft. But it drops from this peak thing by 40% basically overall. within 1.5 years. Dropping 40% is pretty significant. Alright. If something is constantly dying, it's and not growing, like, then there's no fuss around it, you know? Just people are slowly leaving and trying to figure out how to leave a community. It's quite a significant deal. I would like to look into Hearthstone as well. I think people would kind of be trying to leave as well. Yeah, so I have to look at the whole thing. This is the Crip era, basically. It's kind of weird that it's still dying slowly, and it never really got any kind of bumps or anything. And even someone like Raron cannot save Hearthstone. So, but right now I think it stagnates. I think it has reached the bottom and is capable of resurging if it works out. I don't think it will, however. I would like there to be custom time range. How can I customize it? So this is 2020. I don't know, man. Yeah, you can see nothing really changed throughout the year. It starts off at 70%. It ends around 70% too. Pretty much. Nothing really changed. I think this was Castle Nathria expansion. Well, the newest one, even the Death Knight introduction, is completely pointless, I would say. Like, those two expansions were kind of fine. But the most recent one, I'm not too excited anymore. I kind of understand the idea. I did not like Castle Nathria, though. But it seemed pretty cool. You know, I definitely played a lot. And I watched a lot of Hearthstone, but, you know, I become busier and busier over time. And less positively charged about Hearthstone. Yeah, but it's not dying anymore. Alright. Now I think it's in a healthy state where it has its own community, it has its own value. It has filtered out. So when the second resurgence comes, and every single drop is a feeling of something dying overall. The community is definitely changing and filtering out garbage. But you never know if things gonna get a lot worse. It's quite a roller coaster ride. You can kind of feel differences if it goes up or down, even in short period. But if it does it over long period, that's pretty crazy. Ah, yes. If the N word is so bad, why are black people using it amongst themselves? It's quite fascinating. It feels like a racist thing to do, you know. If you don't like a word, I understand. But then you kind of just, like, use it amongst yourselves. So, it seems like a privileged thing to do. Make people feel uncomfortable for using a word that you're using. It's like, oh, wow. But, honestly, I don't want anything to do with their culture, so I'm not jealous. I'm just, you know, very interested. How they allow themselves to do that? Just make up a new word, man, that everyone can use. Nah, let's go, boys. Let's call them ninjagers. Here you go. Very long word, but it fucking sounds fantastic, dude. You find a ninjagger. Oh boy, nice ninjagger, dude. Here you go. That's a broski right there, man. Full on ninjagger. And just fuck off, man. Stop making me feel uncomfortable all the time. But I'm offended, you must be uncomfortable. Then poop, if you're offended. You're full of poop then. Poop, but not on my face. I'm sorry, dude. It's pretty immoral to do that. But I feel... Here's a candy for next month or whatever. Defend yourself before you get offended. Perfect strategy, guys. You know. But it's very offensive when you play a card and it attacks your face. Well, you should have played a card first. Or removed my creature. It is not able to attack the turn it's summoned, unfortunately. So you have plenty of time to react. I actually shouldn't say remove a creature, because that is offensive to me as a game developer. I should just say, you know, play a taunt or whatever. Or heal yourself back up. Stop feeling offended, dude. You have plenty of things you can do besides crying and, I don't like the game anymore. I will murder people now. One thing I'm realizing, maybe it's gonna belong to class. People take a lot of emotional damage because they touch too much grass. In fact, that's probably why the meme exists. You know, people feel that certain strategies work and shut down your brain and manipulate you, and it's very vicious type of idea, you know. If you're basically, people want you to be traumatized to the max, you know, interact with reality until you become traumatized, and then you can be manipulated, because you know, they just push certain buttons and it's like, oh, now you feel bad. We can talk about it, guys. People don't want to feel threatened, so they want you to be traumatized all the time. Yeah, no, reality is definitely that. And a lot of people are traumatized, and I understand. But if you cannot express yourself, I can't really understand and relate to that. It's just, I understand that this is possible and very likely. So that's my speculation, my candy for you guys. But I'll just move on. And that's why you have to talk with your childhood traumas. It has nothing to do with this, right? But it was funny. Yeah, the rewind is definitely mine, because now I use it to represent 4 elements. Can I remember why? Rewind is an action. I guess you start from the very beginning and look through everything, but I don't know, man. Or you eat YouTube poop. Or you try to remember things in general and you feel nostalgic. That's cool. And the button is red, man. I actually called it a button. That's why. It's like a choice, you know. You can choose to rewind. But everything is a fucking choice, man. I don't know. We'll get better as we go. Regardless, there's 4 sins that deserves you to be shot in the face, and we just forget about you at that point. On the internet, maybe you get completely shut down. The real reason you're banned from all social media and banks and just the system entirely. Good luck, dude. So, you have $1 billion. Yeah, we'll take that and split that. No problem. You did $1 billion of damage. Or your followers. Be careful. Be careful how you control your followers and what do you tell them. Alright, so... Because these elements have colors, we have to code them. Yellow circle for fire, purple circle. And now I'm doing that one thing, which is blue circle for addiction. Heavy addiction. If you're just doing one thing, you're pretty fucking useless. Alright, I'm sorry, dude. I don't think... And a lot of people are doing that shit. To some extent. They wouldn't be interesting if they did just one thing, obviously. They need to generate some kind of ideas. And, we need to know what kind of communities you drawn your inspiration from. Just so we're clear. You know. And then, you can't find a single person you admire or agree with. Maybe I can modify this a little bit. But, you know. You feel like you're the moral high ground, basically. But at the same time, you feel like you can't really find a person to interact with whatsoever, and you just gave up on life in general. You're not trying to. Like, you gave up on humanity, and, well, humanity wants to give up on you as well, so, get sniped, bro. Because the moment you trust only one person, because you're going to be desperate eventually, someone is going to convince you to trust them, you're going to get in trouble anyways, and you're going to feed into their darkness. And we don't want that to happen. So we have to remove you, just in case, you know. Yeah, my candy seems pretty legit. Or even, like, better than last year. And sure, it's an interesting... I hope it's just interesting. Because I'm not sure, it doesn't strike me, right? Okay. So, don't be afraid to settle down. It's simply a way to gather power. Yes, you might have to grow out of it, but every journey must have checkpoints. So, you know, you create relationships, but you must understand every relationship is potentially, you know, temporary, or potentially a trap that will hold you, handcuff you to each other, because you have no options in the end. But it's still better than being left alone and completely stranded. You can always break the relationship. Kind of. It's a weird one, to be honest. But normally, like, settling down, I just watched a video. Being single is now unaffordable luxury. It kind of makes sense, but in this context is the best way to talk about it. Because you don't want to get married. You want to settle down, That's not marriage. Alright. You find something, you flourish the relationship, you settle down in terms of getting together in one place, whatever, making sure that your expenses are shared, stuff like that, that you share your time together, uh, you share interests. Things move a little bit quicker that way. Alright? Two minds are better than one. So that's what settling down kind of supposed to mean. But at any point you can treat it just as a checkpoint to get to another place, a much better place. So let's say I like these crazy ass celebrities that, would fulfill my trade agreement to become a little bit more influential than just ridiculously powerful. Like, I have a lot of power but no influence. They have a lot of influence but no power. So I want to trade, man. But in order to reach that point, I have to prove a lot of things that I can, be good with the girls and be a moral person, touch grass properly. That's a hard thing to do. No, but interacting with the reality in different situations, it could be quite tough. I can talk all day, but I can only imagine situations. But it's still pretty good to imagine situations. That's still quite a preparation. But in the end, you have to be tested. So those could be the checkpoints that I'll be facing. Or, if the world refuses to have grass that I can touch, then I'm sure there's a shortcut through the internet. And then everything just kind of falls apart. In that sense, weird things can happen, alright? There's plenty of ways to solve a problem. But this is like the most humane one. The most sensible one that I need to prove myself to multiple people as I move forward with my intentions. The best way to look at consent is treat it as chess. You get to move, and you need to wait for your opponent to respond or leave. It's best to not make too many moves at once. You give warnings, you react, you think about what your next move is going to be. You make that move, react, think. You have to leave a little bit of room to release tension, that's also pretty important. Because everyone is going to be very confused at the start. But like, life is ridiculously confusing in general, unless you put effort into it. But not just consent, every single kind of interaction with people. But like, you can't just flood their inbox with messages, unfortunately. If they don't respond, they just don't know how to play, man. They're cheating. They're already cheating, dude. Especially if it's opposite gender that you're trying to attract. That's how you catch a cheater. It's not that difficult. You can try like the next day, ping them again the next day. Because technically you're talking to a slightly different person while you are a different person. You're restarting the game the next day. There's nothing you can do. 24 hours and the game restarts. Unless the person didn't fucking sleep. Which is very difficult to do, unfortunately. So, just like it's very difficult to see the sun not rise. Unless you live in pole areas. Or not set and rise. But, and finally, if government has more power than the people, it doesn't have to follow its own rules. This should make you concerned. I mean, government can do whatever they want. The moment they have more power than the people, the moment they feel like, oh, I can just order people around and make them do whatever we want, and there's not going to be any resistance. So we have to be very careful when governments test their power. You have to be able to evaluate. All right, are the people losing, or the government has failed with its little test? And I'm pretty sure that the pandemic and this climate change narrative, and a lot of narratives in general, are kind of a test of power. While at the same time, they claim a little bit of power each time. But obviously they also expose themselves, and we have ability to take back the power that they took, while they just sit there waiting for the next move and planning their next move. Their moves are big. They're pretty dangerous. Whenever they come up with a law, it's going to steal a lot of power from us. So if we don't organize and figure out how to break laws that are kind of already in place but have been forgotten about and are not being enforced anymore, and we have to take advantage of those, because there's no such thing as a new law, technically, that stacks into the law book. The law book is like ridiculously big and bulky, and the moment you invent a new law, you're just doing it so you remember something. But technically, most laws are kind of forgotten about and will not be enforced. And we have to take back the powers by figuring out what exactly is being enforced and not. And I think that's the scariest thing you can say to the government. Oh, you testing your powers? We're going to test our powers. It's not that complicated. But it is complicated, because it's pretty scary to test things. But we also have to be very interested in every single move the government makes. You know, because the way they take power is quite fascinating. So yeah, I do follow certain channels like that. But it usually comes from the right. The right is concerned about the power of the government, while the left just bends over. Which is why I don't see much value in the left, besides that they have celebrities in there. You know? Boxes and boxes of chocolate that I want to buy. Right? Nice things. I want to buy that. Alright? Maybe the left is thinking that they can just beat the government by being nice to it. But most leftists are, I don't see it, man. It's all about just bending over and hoping nothing bad is gonna happen, because we have value. No one's gonna steal our value. When there's a threat, values are being stolen left and right. When there's a purge happening. So, no one is safe in that sense. And the government will definitely take advantage of people they can control. And people they can't control. They will take advantage of those too. I mean, there's no exceptions, really. Again, every side has its own values, technically. We'll see. It's a deep topic, but you get it. That's what candies are for tripping balls. This is an interesting number. What is in the middle of 1,000 and 10,000? But you have to take in consideration that growth is exponential, and I'm talking about YouTube subscriber as an example. So what is in the middle? I found, using this simple formula, is 3,000. Not 5,000, 3. And it makes total sense. You multiply by 3, you get 3,000. You multiply by 3 again, you get 10,000. That's a simple exponential growth in between these two checkpoints. So celebrating 5,000 makes less sense than celebrating 3. Alright. I know how much you like that middle sweet spot, but and it's kind of cool. 5,000 is still pretty cool because going from 1,000 to 5,000, it takes 4,000, while going from 5 to 10, it takes, 5. Slightly more, but I would still go with 3,000. Again, you're tripling, and you're tripling again. And there's nothing like deep about it, potentially, but I just like the idea so much. In case I need to celebrate stuff like that. Well, mostly for other people, because I watch other people's channels. So, Rest in peace, Atari. We only have 5 days to go to review. We're definitely gonna fit in 2 hours, right? If you keep running away from fake fights, you'll get dragged down to the real ones. I kind of like into the real ones. So, I think it's pretty basic, right? But this guy ran away from my Discord, didn't say anything. And then my classmates started running away and showing me something spectacular. It's like playing a Squid Game, but people literally don't know how to play the rules. Or playing a Squid Game and midway they realize there is no money prize in the end. There's nothing to fight for. You're fighting for friendship, my friends. And everyone just leaves. And some people just hanging around because they think there is some kind of money prize in the end. Just in case. They gotta get lucky. But, yeah, if you keep running away from fake fights, which is like just stressful experiences, technically, on the internet, like, you can learn plenty out of those. I mean, real life can suck really bad if you're not prepared. So, it's pretty good to do that, because it's way more likely that you will start encountering real fights, because you don't really know how to dodge them properly, Because this stuff has to be solved to some extent. Solved. Like, you have to have a skill of dodging bullets sometimes, or you're gonna get into a lot of trouble. Now, I don't have a perfect example of this, but it definitely pisses me off that, again, people choose to just to destroy the fake fight, but encourage the real ones to take place. Discourage expression of negativity, which was a video that already got a dislike. Congratulations. You guys are fast. But, yeah, it's really frustrating. People don't take things seriously enough, and they will get into real trouble, and they will ask questions on what happened. No, life is definitely very fair, but at the same time, obviously, as you go through fake fights, you'll start realizing new things, and you have to look around a little bit, and, that's kind of the equivalent of touch grass. just in case you don't get in trouble in real life, regardless, because you might be concerned about fake fights a lot, but you treat them as real when you get not much in return. So, unless they help you live your life directly, which is the only way you could do that, you get paid for it, and you know how to spend money without wasting it. But again, for me, from my perspective, it's like internet is a perfect place for you to train yourself. The Andrew Tate mindset, all right, is that you must always put yourself under pressure because you might want cool things in life, you know. But when you step into a boxing ring, I don't know how fake those fights really are. They could traumatize you quite a bit. I mean, Andrew Tate is incredibly paranoid and treated YouTube a little bit different. I mean, it's not about YouTube, it's about TikTok, and he was just straight up scamming people. It was a next level. It's a terrible story of growth, I would say, of growth into popularity. So I don't have good examples to put this into context, but it's so good to keep in mind that thing that I don't really mind not having examples right now. They'll show up eventually. I think this is a continuation of Satar vibes, but it's more like me getting banned vibes as well. So, like, you don't want to go into a community that doesn't matter to you. You will get no value. Just do it because, like, oh, I like joining communities. That's not why I do things. I see some specific value, and it's not. But if you do settle down, well, now you have a house to defend, basically, and that's pretty fun to do. And you can be kicked out very easily, so don't quit yourself. Just keep at it. You know, see what's up. There's plenty of things you can test once you do, in fact, settle down. All of a sudden, there is value. But the reason why you don't want to settle down in random communities is that, first of all, it's hard and it's very difficult to predict whether you can settle down or not. And in the end, you're going to be extracting some kind of value over time, or instantly when you get banned, unexpectedly, and that is ridiculous value. You can start a war that way. If they didn't have a reasonable way of banning you, in a satisfying conclusion where everyone is satisfied, that never happened to me. But don't believe that you can do my thing and copy and paste my behavior and pretend. You know, like, I don't know if people have skills that I do, unfortunately. So, yeah, I don't recommend joining shitty communities, obviously. However, you should still be looking for communities to join. Because every community has different tools and experience that you can, extract as value. No problem. Every community should feel a little bit different because they, again, deal with different problems and they approach you in different ways. And your journey can easily start in that sense. Every single Discord channel was different. It would be a nice video to try and compare them for how different they are, what kind of different expectations and vibes you can get in that sense. This used to be a cookie, but it sucked ass, but it had a very interesting, idea behind it. YOLO. Do you live once, guys? Why is this trend dead already? Yeah. I guess government took a lot of power if this trend is dead. Live your life to the max. If you get more, you'll know how to use it. Wow, that's confusing. If you lose something, you have great memories and might be able to recreate it. I don't know what I was drinking when I wrote that, but this is so much better because, you know, it just recreates the 4 ideas of what you should be doing. In case you're confused how to maximize your life. Life is not that complicated. You shouldn't do extreme things. You should do all of these 4 following things instead. And here you go, boys. I kind of feel like giving a birthday cake. Congratulations, you made it. It's also red. And it's circular, too. I like it so much more. I think we only did it once, right? So don't have to scroll too hard. Birthday. You combine all these layers and you get a red kake. Very nice. I feel like I talked about it a lot when I talked about laziness is bullshit. I mean, laziness is gold. I always mix these things up. It's annoying a little bit. Yeah, if you go up, there is no reason to maximize your life alongside with stress. All right, you still have plenty of choices. And honestly, the hidden rule is that you don't want to stress yourself out because you kind of have to follow all of the stuff at once. And stress does feel like a problem that would bother you a lot. It should be pretty high on your priority list to solve this problem. Alright. Because stress is very destructive, confusing, and lowers your ability to do things that you honestly want to do, or, you know, it distracts you from the things that you want to do. By putting pressure on you to do other things. Oh, wow. So, it's a cool combination. So you shouldn't be stressful. You should only get into stress if you're trying to grab something. Stress is something that will happen anyways, but if you have good enough reason, you're not going to get distracted. You're focusing on something, and it's going to be an okay experience in that sense. Or you might have no choice, technically, but in that case, still stress fades out fairly quickly. Let's say you're getting isolated. You're stuck in your home. It can be stressful at first. Then it's just mentally exhausting if you don't know what to do about it. But I don't care. Every problem can be solved quite well. I did not felt that pandemic existed, but I did felt that government existed during the pandemic. And that it's doing weird things, basically. And don't look back. When you grab it... Yeah, like... Once you grab something, you don't just come back randomly, like... Maybe you picked up the wrong thing, but you have to still very much think about going back and evaluate stress, because potentially stress can get worse. And people might expect you to come back and do something weird again now. So just like my class is now potentially going to be a little bit more prepared in case they invite me into a meeting or something, or try to lure me in. But I think they learned their lesson. They either will not organize anything, or they organize it in absolute quietness. Very simple. Would I feel left out? Absolutely not. I don't give a fuck about idiots. It will still feel bad because, there's plenty of opportunities to be had, but, that's it. That is unfortunately it. Or fortunately. Hope it was satisfying. We crunched all the data and the things I've left behind. I need a cool example, maybe. But yeah, before I actually crashed the party that these classmates tried to do, but it didn't feel like they were doing anything or organizing it properly. It really felt weird. So I just asked what the hell is happening, pretty much, in my own way. And the shit got real, Their true capabilities as human beings have been exposed, basically. And they're just ordinary losers in that sense. I might be a loser in real life because I have no friends and no connections, but goddammit, I at least can sit here and die alone, but laugh at all these losers who can't even have anything on the internet. They have no display of ego or anything. Like you post pictures, but you cannot advertise yourself to me like that you're a cool person. You can't even do that shit. Holy crap, man. That is so disappointing and hilarious at the same time. That's what the school meeting is supposed to be. Class reunion is supposed to be about, is like, you reintroduce yourself of all the changes you've been through. We kind of appreciate the fact that we were connected, even if it was by force. All these things matter, but if no one picks up on the ideas that I've thrown out there and everyone just tries to leave in some spectacular fashion, well, it's just, a TV show for me to tune in and click some buttons and then shut down and forget about. Well, not forget about. I will talk about it again and again, guys. Thanks for the gift, classmates. Too bad you bunch of losers. Alright, see you guys next time. Yeah, it was a cool month. But, again, when I look into these candy things, I'm looking at a previous month, before December, which makes things a lot more awkward, I would imagine. But not much I can do about it. I have to make sure that the candy is actually old enough. So it catches me a little bit off guard. Because if I check the newest candy, eventually I get to things that I literally said a week ago, and it's not going to have big of an impact as the old stuff would. Also, it has to stand the test of time as well. So, this wasn't a time when I was dealing with my classmates, but it's also cool to remember this was the time when I was making top 100 battles for top 100 spots, and I was making the memes for the rewind. So yeah, I made a dip out of myself, pretty sizable dip as well, went all the way back 2 months ago in terms of growth, which sucks ass, but I had no choice, guys. I had to work on my rewind and try and be relevant in some kind of way. And then failed miserably. Alright. That just proves one point. Nobody cares about effort whatsoever. They don't even see the difference. Holy crap. YouTube doesn't see a difference. No one sees any difference anywhere. It's like, oh, this guy is narrating. There's nothing different with this video in comparison to other videos. Regardless, how long did it took me to show memes, man? How long? It has to have been December 1st and 20 minutes long. Or 30? This one maybe? This looks correct. To show memes, to start showing memes, it starts at 18 seconds. I jump right in. Right now, I made it really ugly. Maybe it's a different video, but that's kind of the idea, at least. I don't think I'm being fooled here, though. Not sure. Alright, see you guys next time.